Solving an absolute value equation. Next, we will learn how to solve an absolute value equation. To solve an absolute value equation, such as the absolute value of 2x minus 6 equals 8, we notice that the absolute value will be equal to 8 if the quantity inside the absolute value bars is 8 or negative 8. This leads to two different equations that we can solve independently. The absolute value of 2x minus 6, which is equal to 8, we can use this form. The absolute value measures the distance from that number to 0. So what it's saying here is that we don't know what x is, right? But we know that there's a distance from here, okay? And that distance is negative a. And over here, we can say that this distance is positive a. So that means we have two values that we need to make sure that we set this equal to. So 2x minus 6 is equal to positive 8, or 2x minus 6, which is equal to negative 8. Now solving this equation, add 6 to both sides, dividing it by 2, we get x is equal to 7. 2x minus 6, which is equal to negative 8, divide both sides by 2, x is equal to negative 1. Now knowing how to solve problems involving absolute value functions is useful. For example, we may need to identify numbers or points on a line that are at specified distance from a given reference point. Absolute value equations. The absolute value of x is written as the absolute value bars with the x in the center. It has the following properties. If x is greater than or equal to 0, then the absolute value of x is going to equal x. If x is less than 0, then the absolute value of x is going to equal negative x. Now, for real numbers a and b, an equation of the form the absolute value of a is equal to b, with b being greater than or equal to 0, will have solutions when a is equal to b or a is equal to negative b. So in our example, this value of 8 was greater than or equal to 0, so we were good with that question. Now, if b is less than 0, then the equation the absolute value of a is equal to b has no solution, because when you take the absolute value of a number, it should be positive. So if it's a negative, there's no way it could happen. Now, an absolute value equation in the form absolute value of ax plus b equals c has the following properties. If the value of c is less than 0, then ax, the absolute value of ax plus b equals c, would have no solution, meaning that if it's a negative number. So what it's saying here is that if I had the absolute value of 2x plus 4, and that's equal to, let's say, negative 3, then that would be no solution. Now, if c is equal to 0, so let's say that we had the absolute value of 2x plus 4, and that's equal to 0, we're only going to have one solution because 0 can neither be negative or positive, so we're only going to set it equal to 0. And then if c is greater than 0, then it's going to have two solutions. So that means if you had 2x plus 4 and the absolute value of that, let's say we were equal to a number greater than 0, which would be 5.